Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Tonight we're talking about the sequence of return risk. And what that means, if you retire and the market goes down, doesn't go your way those first couple of years, how can that negatively affect your retirement going forward? And what does that look like there? So again, my name is El Costanzo. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, definitely do so below. Click the like button if you haven't already as well. Definitely helpful for us to kind of growing our channel and what that looks like there. Now, what we're going over today is a couple of things. One is this sequence of return. And what does that mean? Well, if you retire and the market is in your favor, meaning some returns happen that are good off the bat, your odds of running out of money are very low, actually. Where the market actually goes down those first couple of years in your retirement, your odds of running out of money increase significantly. So, how these returns happen, the sequence of these returns happening, can dramatically affect your retirement. And it's definitely something to kind of know and realize when we're looking at this going forward. All right. So, we have an example here. We have two scenarios. First scenario, scenario one, this is the market actually performing pretty well for you. Now, we have two positive years in a row, and we have two negative years in a row -5, -10, then a positive +5 at year 5. Now, the second scenario, a little bit different. Now we have the market actually going down those first 2 years, -10, -5, then increases and goes up 10%, 10%, and then 5% again. So when we look at that, right, what's the difference here and how does this all play out? Well, in that first scenario, let's say we have $500,000 that's invested in the stock market. And we want to take out $30,000 a year and use that money to live off of, right? That their Social Security, that's enough for us to live. And we're going to do that. Taking 30K out a year out of here. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. All right. In this first scenario, okay, taking 30K out a year, at the end of 5 years, we're going to end up with around $405,000. I'm sorry, $426,000 we actually end up with here. So we end up with 426 in that first scenario. Market did pretty well. Right. Now the second scenario, market goes down off the bat. What's the difference? Well, the end of year 5, the same returns happened over these 5 years, just a different order. We're going to have $335,000 in that second scenario, $100,000 difference over 5 years. Now, if we were to play out the rest of this person's retirement and it lasts another 20 years, they're way more likely to run out of money in this scenario 2 than they are in this scenario 1. That's the risk that we see with sequence of returns and how they happen there. Now, there are ways to actually solve for this risk. And the key here, right, and why this doesn't work so well in scenario 2 is because when the market is going down, is -10, -5%, we're also taking out 30K each of those years. So we're not just losing 10%. We're losing 10%, which is $50,000 up to 500, plus 30. So 500K goes down to 420 after 1 year. Then it loses money again. And by the time the good years happen, we're in the 300,000s, which means, a 10% return on 380 is a lot different than a 10% return on 500. Right? That's a difference. And so we have less money here at the end of 5 years. Now we can combat this, right? There are strategies you can actually use to make sure this doesn't happen to you and that we're actually in a good spot as we enter retirement. One of those is making sure that we can pull from an account that isn't going to be losing money there, right? So one way of avoiding this at 30K, if we can take that money from a safer account that we planned for before we retired, right? When the market drops like that, we pull from there And because of that, we let our other account, our more aggressive account that lost 10%, it can recover going forward from there. Okay. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. This is one of them. There's others out there as well, but be prepared. And if you don't have a plan around this market risk, definitely something you want to look at and take advantage of going forward here to make sure you're in the right spot as you enter retirement going through here. All right. Hope you liked the video. If you're concerned about this, want to talk more about it, definitely look at the link to our website. We have a bunch of articles on this. You also can talk to us on the phone if you want to talk more about it as well. But appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.